Welcome students. This is an initiative by the Directorate of Higher Education, Government of Goa for the purpose of developing e-resources in the subject of economics. In today's module, we will be covering the 2 and 3 sector models of circular flow. This module is a continuation of Module 2. I am Dr. Elizabeth Hendricks and I am an Associate Professor of Economics at the Government College of Commerce and Economics, Borda, Goa. In this model, we will be analyzing how income circulates between 3 sectors of the economy. We will also focus on the extended model, which comprises of 4 sectors, and we will touch upon the significance of the circular flow. At the end of this module, you will be able to get a better understanding of how income circulates between various sectors of the economy and also understand how this circulation of income impacts the economy at large. So let us look at the 3 sector model. This is considered to be an improvement over the 2 sector model. The problem with the 2 sector model was that it had several limitations, and one of those limitations was the fact it restricted income circulation between 2 sectors, the household and the firm. So the 3 sector model includes the operations by the government. How does income circulate between the government on one hand and the household and the firm on the other? This circulation of income between the 3 sectors happens on account of the fiscal operations of the government. These fiscal operations include taxation and expenditure. The government today is no longer just a political necessity. The government has become a welfare state. The government's functions have multiplied manifold. And in order to perform these functions, the prime requirement is finance. So where is the government going to get money from? One important source is taxation. So the government then imposes taxes on both the household as well as the firm. The households pay direct taxes to the firms. Individuals pay income tax to the government. But when we pay that income tax to the government, it results in a reduction in our income, in our propensity to consume. Our savings are going to be adversely affected, and across the economy, this is going to have an adverse impact on investment. The government also imposes taxes on firms. The government imposes both direct and indirect taxes on firms. The firms pay corporate taxes. The government is taxing their profits. The government is also taxing the goods and services that they produce and supply. Now, whenever the government imposes taxes on either the household or the firm, both in fact, the result is a withdrawal of income from these 2 sectors into the coffers of the government. If income in the hands of the household and the firms reduce, it automatically implies that consumption is going to be affected, savings are going to reduce, there will be less capital formation in the economy, and moreover, investment is going to reduce. This obviously has implications for the economy, because if you have less investment happening in the economy, there's going to be unemployment. There's going to be further less circulation of money. Now, if the government is withdrawing money by way of taxation, the government compensates this by incurring expenditure. And expenditure is the second operation, fiscal operation of the government. What happens when the government incurs expenditure? Let us just look at the relationship between the government and the household. The government employs people. The government pays them wages and salaries. Take a very simple example. Today, if you travel across the length and breadth of Goa, just from north to south Goa, what you will see is kilometers and kilometers of roads and bridges being constructed. These are government projects. These are projects that are financed by the government. But more importantly, there are thousands of workers who are employed in the construction of these projects. So the expenditure that the government is incurring in the form of wages and salaries is actually income that these workers derive. And these incomes then are going to augment not just their consumption, but they are going to increase their savings capacity too. The government also spends on transfer payments. Transfer payments are unearned incomes. Take the example of the gas cylinder that you refill at home. You might be paying the entire cost of the cylinder when the delivery boy gives you the cylinder. But a few days later, you will realize that the subsidy has been credited into your account. Now, that subsidy is a transfer payment. There's a flow of money from the government into your bank account. The government provides pensions, the government provides unemployment doles, the government provides educational scholarships. All of these transfer payments reflect an injection of income into the household. The government also incurs expenditure, the beneficiary of which is the firm. The government purchases goods and services from the firm. The government also provides subsidies to the firm. So, any expenditure that is incurred by the government is going to lead to an enhancement in the income that is available with the household and the firm. It will increase their propensity to consume. It will lead to an increase in investment, and investment will automatically facilitate growth in the economy. The fourth sector model is considered to be the most realistic model, because besides the three sectors that were considered in the three sector model, this model recognizes the fact that money flows not just within the country, but it also flows between countries. Let us just look at the household. The household supplies human resources to the international sector. There are so many Indians who are working abroad, and these Indians send back remittances back home. So, this is a flow of income from another country into our nation. There is both the physical flow as well as the money flow. While the household is supplying human resources, correspondingly, remittances move from the international sector into the household. If we look at the international sector and the firm is a trader. The firm exports goods and earns receipts. The firm imports goods and has to make payments. So, there is a consistent flow of money into and out of the country because of the trade operations engaged by the firms. Now, will the international circular flow actually enhance economic activity at home? This would depend upon the trade balance. If we have a surplus trade balance, implying that the export receipts are more than the import payments, there will be an automatic expansion in money supply, fueling economic growth. But if we have a trade deficit, that would compress money supply in the economy, shrink investment, and have a negative impact on the growth profile of the economy. Why is the circular flow important? The circular flow is important because it gives us an idea of the interdependence between sectors. The household is dependent on the firm for goods and services. The firm is dependent on the household for factors of production. Each of these sectors is dependent on the other. The government depends on the firm, the government depends on the household for tax revenue. The circular flow also indicates expansion in money supply and the leakages from this income flow. The circular flow of income helps the national income authorities to compute national income estimates. It is at the end of it all an indicator of the economic health of the country. The greater the speed and velocity with which money circulates in the economy, it is going to fuel the engine of growth in the country. To summarize this module, we analyzed the three-sector module. We also described the working of the fourth sector circular flow model. We also looked at the significance of the circular flow. For further material on this module, kindly check out the references that I've provided in these slides. Thank you.